Hey folks, I'm Naomi Rose, your personal sexpert and relationship coach. And today I want to talk to you about consent. Consent has to do with making sure that the people that we're doing sexy things with are really happy to be doing sexy things with us. Consent has to be a couple of things. It has to be clear. This means that it can be the word yes, or it can be some other indication. Maybe it's a nod. Maybe it's just a really clear exchange of like who's initiating things. So maybe we start taking our partner's shirt off and then they take it off the rest of the way. That's like them saying, yeah, that part I'm cool with. Dirty talk is an amazing way to get consent. If you ask a partner if they want blank and you ask in a really sexy voice, if we get a yes, if we get like maybe it's even a fuck yes, then bam, we've gotten clear consent and it was really fun. All right, number 2, freely given. What it means for consent to be freely given is that I am saying yes because I know that if I wanted to, I could say no. There are certain circumstances or dynamics that bring people to say yes, and they're not in a position to be able to say no if they want to. So these are the kinds of circumstances that we're hearing about with people like Harvey Weinstein. But sometimes that plays out in subtler ways, like someone just being very, very pressury. So if I were to be like, do you understand how hard you're making this for me? To have you saying no right now, it's really crushing me. That sort of conversation can make someone feel like they're not able to say no. Another piece about freely given consent is that a person has to be in a mind space to be able to make thoughtful decisions. People who are super wasted or high out of their minds cannot give consent. Sometimes people have super sexy experiences that involve alcohol, but we want to make sure that a person is in a mind space where they're able to say yes or no. This piece is confusing for folks. People will ask me, how drunk is too drunk? Here's some tips that I like to offer. If you would feel safe giving your keys to someone and letting them drive you home, that's a good indication that that person can give consent. If you're with someone and you're like, yes, I am so glad this person is wasted because otherwise they would never be with me, that's a pretty clear indication that that person is not able to give consent. If someone is slurring their speech, if someone is passing out, if someone is asleep, they are not in a position to be able to give clear, freely given consent. We want to be with people who would want to be with us, even if they were sober. Sometimes people are like, I'd never get anyone if I didn't get with wasted people. And to that, I just want to say, it's not true. There are so many people out there, and there are people that are going to be excited for what you have to offer. You do not need to rely on alcohol to get you laid. All right, so consent. We want it to be informed. People have to know what they're saying yes to. Now, I don't mean that you have to give someone your entire life story. What I am talking about is being honest with people. If we have a partner, if we have mono and anyone we kiss is likely to get mono, we need to let people know before we kiss them that we have mono. So, consent is clear, freely given, informed. And lastly, we want it to be active. What I mean by that is sometimes we hear the phrase, no means no. And that's pretty clear. If someone says no, you gotta stop. Unless that's part of your role play and you have already agreed beforehand that you're gonna say no and you have a safe word. We'll get into that later. But here's the thing. Just because someone doesn't say no does not mean that they are saying yes. If someone's like, no, I don't want A, B, C, or D, that doesn't mean that they automatically want E through Z. That's just not how it works. We have to get active consent that they want E, or that they want F, or that they want G. All right, I'll stop. Here's the last thing that I want to say about consent. Consent is a process. Sometimes I think folks think about consent and they think, before we do anything, I have to get consent. And that's true. before you do anything, you should get consent. But also, while you're doing things, you still have to get consent, because we can withdraw consent at any time. That's okay. It happens in real time, and sometimes we have to stop. Sometimes there's something that comes up. There's something that doesn't feel good. And that's why we have to check in every step of the way. We're gonna be like, hey, you like that? I like that. How about this? Checking in is such a sexy, awesome thing to do. Let's review. Consent is clear, freely given, informed, and active. And it's also a process. Hopefully that's helpful in terms of breaking down the ideas of consent. If any of that was confusing, or if you think I left something out, please leave me a comment. I really want to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.